The sky was a swirling mass of dark clouds, the moon occasionally peeking through, casting an eerie glow over the suburban neighborhood. 5 friends, Jake, Sarah, Ben, Mia, and their host, Tom, gathered for a sleepover at Tom's house. It was a sprawling, old Victorian home, the kind that seemed to groan and sigh with every gust of wind. Tom's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore, greeted the group with warm smiles and plates of freshly baked cookies. There was something unsettling about the way they moved, the way their eyes lingered just a bit too long. But the friends were too excited about the sleepover to pay it much mind. The evening started innocently enough, with games and ghost stories. The Whitmores retired early, leaving the teens to their fun. As the clock struck midnight, the mood shifted. They decided to explore the house, its shadowy hallways promising a thrill. Tom led the way, flashlight in hand. They found themselves in the basement, a sprawling maze of rooms filled with old furniture and dusty antiques. Jake, always the brave one, suggested a game of hide and seek. Mia hesitated, feeling a chill that had nothing to do with the drafty basement, but eventually agreed. Tom was it, and he counted while the others scattered. Sarah and Ben found hiding spots quickly, but Mia and Jake ventured deeper into the basement. They stumbled upon a heavy, wooden door. Jake, ever curious, pushed it open, revealing a small, dimly lit room. The walls were lined with newspaper clippings about missing people, their faces staring out in black and white. "Jake, look at this," Mia whispered, pointing to a shelf lined with small, personal items, a locket, a child's shoe, a faded ribbon. Each item was tagged with a name and date. Jake's face paled. "Mia, we need to go." Before they could turn, the door creaked shut. Standing in the doorway was Mr. Whitmore, his smile devoid of warmth. "Found you," he said softly, stepping into the room. Upstairs, Sarah and Ben waited for the game to end. They noticed Tom hadn't called "found" for anyone yet. Growing impatient, Sarah decided to look for the others. She found Tom in the kitchen, his back turned, talking to his mother in hushed tones. "Tom, what's taking so long?" Sarah asked. He turned to her, his face expressionless. "Sarah, you should leave," he said quietly. Mrs. Whitmore's hand gripped his shoulder, her nails digging in. Sarah's heart raced. She turned to leave, but Mrs. Whitmore blocked her path. "Stay for a while, dear," she said, her voice dripping with false kindness. "It's not safe outside at night." Downstairs, Mia and Jake were forced into a corner as Mr. Whitmore advanced, a gleam of madness in his eyes. Jake tried to protect Mia, but Mr. Whitmore overpowered him, knocking him unconscious. He turned to Mia, who was frozen in terror. "Don't worry, it will be quick," he said, raising a knife. Mia's scream echoed through the house, reaching Sarah and Ben. Realizing the danger, Ben grabbed Sarah's hand, and they bolted for the front door, only to find it locked from the outside. They were trapped. Tom watched them, a mix of regret and resignation in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he whispered, just as his father appeared behind him, brandishing the knife now stained with Jake's blood. "We have rules," Mr. Whitmore said. "No one leaves." In a desperate attempt to escape, Ben and Sarah ran upstairs, hoping to find another way out. They barricaded themselves in a bedroom, but the door started to splinter as Mr. Whitmore hacked at it with the knife. Tom's voice came through the door. "Please, just stay quiet. Maybe they'll let you go." But there was no escape. Mrs. Whitmore appeared at the window, her eyes cold and unfeeling. The friends were trapped between the two murderous parents. As the door gave way, Mr. Whitmore entered, knife glinting in the dim light. Sarah clung to Ben, tears streaming down her face. Ben stood protectively in front of her, ready to fight to the last breath, but it was futile. Mr. Whitmore advanced, and the last thing they heard was Tom's sobbing apology. The next morning, the Whitmores' home was silent, the air thick with the scent of blood and death. The parents went about their day as if nothing had happened, their twisted game complete. Tom, now fully complicit, buried his guilt deep, knowing that his parents' dark secret was one he could never escape. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling tales. Until next time, stay safe and beware of the darkness.